Hey guys, September the 22nd, it's Drutter here. Thank you to my friend, he knows who he is, for suggesting this chart so that I can continue to follow the 20-month up channel in silver. Looks a little different. This is on, what's it called? goldprice.org. But it's more customizable and you're allowed to go back further than 20 months. So, here is this channel once again. That's what happened today. Now they say this is a fear play, a fear reaction. That's what the CNN and other headlines are saying anyhow. What appears to have happened to me is people sold pretty much everything. The Dow was off about 400 points today. All the US stocks were down close to 4%. Overseas stocks were hammered badly as well. The commodities have all been slammed, including silver, of course. Gold, not as bad, because gold's monetary vector, of course, comes in when people are not sure what to buy. They will often buy some gold. So there's been buying and selling in gold, keeping the price a little bit more stable. But this is ridiculous. Although, if you keep in mind, this is a US dollar chart, and that bar there is caused by a huge spike in the US dollar today. As people are buying US dollars, because that's the world's reserve currency. So when you sell something, you're basically buying US dollars. So there's been a lot of US dollar buying, and it has caused that huge spike. Look at a chart in Canadian dollars, and you'll see that the drop today was somewhere around $2, not $5. So it depends on where you are. The Americans are having a buying opportunity, and the Canadians and Australians and Europeans and other people around the world are, well, it's a dip. It's better than it was, but definitely not seeing these kind of sale prices. $36, wow. I did a video yesterday where I said I wasn't expecting it to drop below 38 or out of this trend line, this channel, which would have been about 37.5, I guess. I wasn't expecting this drop at all, so I did not see that coming, and I admit that. I've never tried to be a savant or anything like that. Mostly I analyze what I see happening, and I just try and use that to extrapolate out to the future. But I'm not here to try and help you jump in and out of trades at the correct time. So just if you're looking for a channel like that, there are channels out there that say that they will predict the future, but this isn't one of them. I've been wrong so many times when I do try and predict, so I just hold my physical metal and I buy when I can, buy on the dips, and that's a dip. That's an absolute dip. And I'm not saying it can't go down further, because it certainly can, especially because it's dropped out of that channel now, the 20-month channel, although it has recaptured itself into the channel in the past when going out to the upside. So the channel's not necessarily dead, but it has been pierced to the downside, and we'll see what happens in the coming week or so. Thank you to Street Money 21. If you're not watching his channel, I'll link to it down below. Really, really good analysis on commodities and the markets in general, and he's an entertaining guy as well. So if you're not watching him, you probably should be. So I guess now that I have this new chart to work with, I can do the 20-month channel longer, but ironically on the same day that I got the new chart, the channel doesn't seem to be in play anymore, but we will see for sure. Remember, guys, to buy the friggin' dips, and this is absolutely a dip. I mean, the last real time when I said was a good time to buy was at 34, right there when it bounced off the bottom of this trend line. And so yeah, I'm kind of a perma bull on silver, but if you can get physical bullion at these prices, I suggest you go for it. What I'm thinking is going to happen is if silver stays low like this in the US dollar, or maybe even in other currencies as well, then there's going to be a physical shortage, or at least some supply problems, as there have been in the past on these other dips. I remember back here there was a massive shortage of silver. Again, when it bottomed here and here, that we were having troubles getting silver, as well as several points along the way up. So whenever we get these pullbacks, you got to remember the physical demand comes into play, and if there's none available locally, you won't be getting it at these prices. You'll be paying, $40, $42 an ounce or more. Just as an added bonus, I was going to throw in these calculations that I was doing. There's 165,000 tons of above ground gold in the world that has been mined over the course of human history. You multiply by the conversion factor to get the number of troy ounces there are, so it's 5.3 billion troy ounces of gold. And 15% of that has been used up, launched into space in electrical wiring on spaceships, and used as medicine or atomized and turned into tiny little particles that are floating around in the ocean and, for all intents and purposes, unretrievable at this time. You take that 15% off and you have 4.5 billion ounces of gold. A lot of that is in, Egyptian artifacts, in museums, it's in people's personal stacks, it's in banks and vaults around the world. Supposedly Fort Knox has a lot of gold. So this amount of gold is the total amount of gold available to humanity. That's not the amount of gold that's up for sale. That's, liquid marketable gold right now. Maybe 1% of that is, on abmex.com and other websites that are, have gold for sale or at the bullion store. Maybe 1%. So 1% of that would be what, 45 million ounces. So it's possible that there are 45 million ounces or less gold in the world available to the 7 billion inhabitants of this planet. And if you think about it, that's a tiny, tiny portion of gold. It would be possible if people really woke up to precious metals for all of that gold to be purchased and to be off the market completely. And then we would be setting the price of gold, basically. It would be whatever we said it was worth. Just something interesting to think about.